Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? I am joining you guys on this lovely Thursday evening, and we'll be working on some tattooing. So let's get to it. All right, let's go ahead and just throw you guys on up here. Oh, whoa! Look at that, looking good, looking good. All right, so what I'm going to be working on this evening is actually simple, simple, simpler something is, the harder it is to do. I'll tell you that. But I'm working on a simple Tudor rose design. Tudor rose has been around for a pretty long time, and it does have its representations in different houses of the British royalty, I suppose, different families there. But more importantly, it's been used as a hey, what's up, man? Just talking about what it is that I'm going to be working on this evening. So I'm going to be working on a Tudor rose, Tudor, Tudor rose, Rose. I can spell. So essentially, outside of British royalty, it has been a universal symbol for secrets kept. So uh, I don't have a whole lot of secrets, but I have a few, and I plan on keeping those. So I just pulled out this cartridge here. This is a 5 round liner. It's pretty small compared to the things that I have been using as of late. But this is a fairly delicate design. Let's see if we can throw it on up here and get a good view of it. Yeah, so this is it. It's small-ish. I will be doing it only in black. Um, Lots of curves, lots of empty spaces and whatnot. Actually, I have to see if my let me just throw this up there real quick. Yeah, so I do have my reference. That's good. I was glad I did not throw that away because there's areas that are clearly defined on the outline as being filled in, and those that are left open. So that's what I'm working on this evening. Tudor Rose. Boom. Hmm. Now, on my reference, I have some more details that don't think I think it would be too small for me to put in. So I'm not gonna show you guys that just because I would be disappointed if somebody showed me like, oh yeah, it's gonna have these details, even though I just said it wouldn't. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this stencil's been sitting for a while. I think I put it on maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. So it's on there for life. I don't even know why I'm tattooing it. It's not going anywhere. No, but seriously, it'll be there for a while. So let's see. I don't know if that length really. I'll get up close and personal. There we go. Now we can get that. So that's a little bit long for me, just a tiny bit. Especially working in the area that I'm going to be working on. Uh, I want to be able to float this needle, but I also want to make sure that I'm not hitting the bone. You know what I mean? So, all right. Now, that being said, I am using my pen style just due to the location. There's not a whole lot of movement that I can do around this, so I want to be able to see the uh, the design and also be able to see the um, not have to maneuver like twisting the machine all around. That's the only real downfall of the other machine, honestly. So what I'm going to do is tonight I'm going to be working on putting this outline in. Most likely, I will go ahead and fill some spaces, but I am prepared to just throw the outline in and move on if I need to. Um, and that's okay. If if for whatever reason I feel like I'm running out of time, or I just get tired, or whatever, whatever happens, sometimes it's good that I am my own client in the sense that I can make those decisions and not feel like I'm, leaving somebody high and dry for the session, I guess. Yeah, I had a pretty good day today. Worked on some schoolwork. You know, that was fun. Actually got some stuff. I guess you could say got some stuff accomplished. Let me move that over. But also, I wasn't terribly overburdened with a whole lot of crap, which is good. So since the last time I was actually on here versus today, this will be my first tattoo session on myself. Um, Not being a member of the active duty community, so kind of sad. Little bit on the stressful side. I think a lot of people, whenever they get out of their contract or their obligation, their military obligation, they are ecstatic because they made that decision. Um, I can't say the same, but it's for the best, and I'm sure that I've got a lot of really interesting times ahead of me. Right. Yeah, I know. And that's kind of how I feel is like I don't really know, man. Like things become such a huge, part of your day to day that you just kind of not even get used to it. It's just 'cause you don't get used to breathing, right? Like it's just something that you do. And then all of a sudden, you know, you kind of don't anymore. With exception of breathing. Hopefully everyone still does that as necessary. If you don't need to breathe, good for you. But let's rein that in a little bit. This is kind of a fun design to work on. A lot of interesting curves and fun fun spots for interpretation of different things. Should be like I said. I mean, it should be rather simple, but it's these simple ones that really kind of get you. Because 1 second you're like, okay, yeah, I got this, and then the next second you're like, wait, what the hell? This should have been simple. I'm getting kind of close to the ankle down here. Again, this is kind of an experiment, as I have recently pointed out that a friend of mine had asked about how painful it was to get a tattoo around the ankle, and I wanted to be able to give an honest assessment because I don't have any of those. So, you know, and I figure this is one of those. It's almost like a brand, I guess. That makes sense. Like it's round and easy to see, that kind of thing. So I thought maybe before I get too far ahead over there, I should probably. I'm just talking to myself now. I need to kind of wrap up these aspects up here before I wipe out the stencil by working my way down. If that makes sense. That. There we go. That works out well. Like this. Yeah, these are some really interesting shapes that I'm working out here. And as uniform as a lot of this appears, it is really not. Somewhat by design, because I knew if it appeared to look like I was going too uniform and there was a slight deviation, then that slight deviation would appear a lot larger. So and that's kind of why I'm also using this very small liner to accomplish this task, because these are some very small details that have to be put into the design. When that happens, let's just dump a ton of ink right on the skin. Let's just cover up the design, shall we? You know, it makes perfect sense that way. Yeah. Now we're getting to a point where we start living that careless life of getting ready to move a little bit further down the design here. First, let's hit that middle. So some people might actually recognize this if you are prior military and worked in the intelligence branch. Then that's kind of say the main branch insignia actually incorporates a Tudor rose. Not the reason I like it, because everyone's experience with military intelligence provided a lot of intelligence. You know, this middle part's going to be filled in, so it's okay if the lines are a little bit wonky on that. Not too big of a deal. I don't care. Yeah, man. Um, I've always liked the design. Actually, whenever I thought about becoming an officer, uh, I almost chose military intelligence just so I could wear this kick-ass Tudor rose. Just I've always really liked it, at least to the point of aesthetics, anyway. Stay almost there. And one more major part of a pedal. Well, I guess I should say two main parts of a pedal and one leaf. Keep almost wiping away. So soon I'll be able to actually do a decent wipe on this though, and then we can worry about such fun things as filling this bad boy in. There we go. Cool. So for my fill parts, I actually have something a little bit larger than this, which is rad. Um, I am going to be using a 9-round liner, which is huge, and does really bold outlines, which is why I didn't use it on the outlining, because it's actually pretty, you can see there's a lot of, kind of delicate aspects to the lines themselves. But I want to make sure that while I'm working on this, I'm not coloring in places that don't need to be colored. Hmm. Yeah, I can't wait till I'm not working on something at a stupid angle. That's going to be super rad. So I'm going to knock this down pretty low. The speed here. Not quite testing the. Ooh, that is not quite testing out the full. Let me stop this real quick. I don't know why this one's not spitting very far. I'm not testing the endurance of the machine here. There we go. That's better. I have to twist this thing so to get a decent depth of needle. Okay, so now that I'm not completely worried about, you know what though? Hold on one second. This is gonna look really weird, guys. So give me a second. Where did he go? Additional light source. This one's the so I have that alternate that alternate light source, so I'm not getting in my own way. Um, Pretty sweet little setup. And we're gonna do it to it. I'm surprised. Like, this really, there was hardly any kind of irritation or pain while I was working on this. But now it feels like there's a kind of a stinging sensation. So I don't know if maybe I went too deep, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out. So this might be the wrong size needle for this. Could be wrong. Ooh, that is kind of a sensitive area. Yeah, I think there's like bundles and nerves, odd places where nerve bundles are kind of located on the body. So I think the safest thing for me to say is that the ankle is not the most painful place. I think that's safe to say. But I think it should also be said that no place is safe from being devoid of pain. Like, something tells me that the nerve bundles in my body are probably located in different places by a few inches or whatever from nerve bundles in, somebody else's body. I think it's going to range from person to person. I think that is a safe assessment. This, yeah, this might be the wrong size. I might have to go down a size so that I can actually get in here comfortably without being afraid of. Well, you know what? Forget it. No fear, man. Let's just do it. In here and just do the work, you know? Make sure that we do the best we can in these spots. And I don't want to use like 15 million different needles. Oh, yeah, that's much, much better. Let's go ahead and buy some more of this stuff. This is where this fill is. Man, is it a fun place to fill. It is kind of surprising though. There are places where it's so like insensitive, I guess, that I can feel the vibration of the needle on the skin, but I don't actually feel the needles piercing the skin. I think especially in those areas I have to be pretty careful to not go, too deep or something along those lines. can't say that, like, I'm sitting here and I'm down here at this weird angle, and I'm surprised. Like, I thought that as we got older, we lost flexibility, but I would have killed to have this flexibility, whenever I was first going through puberty. What? 50 needles. Yeah, I wish, man. Like, if I had 50 needles, I'd just do, like, I have a whole, like, pitch black leg or something. Just do, like, what do they call them? Blackout tattoos? That, I feel like that's what they're called. 'Cause I might have to take a small break here. Just due to the angle. You can see my foot's kind of splayed out, and I'm trying to kind of provide a little bit of tension um, by pressing or pulling uh, on my foot, certain way. And to be honest with you, like, I got one whole side of my foot that's going numb, and it's not the side getting the tattoo, unfortunately. So may have to take a little pause. I do want to fill in these areas as best as I can, um, because there is a couple of additional things that I wanted to do with this as I was working through it. So some of these lines are that I did with the smaller needle, um, on the edges of the petals, if you will, like these bottom lines right here, like inside the petals. Actually, would want to see if I can add some sort of dimension to them by making the center a little more thick than either side. I'll show you what I mean, hopefully, as I wrap this, as I start wrapping the tattoo up, I guess. Start putting in the flourishes. But I wanted to make sure that since I was already using that liner, that I used it as best as possible, um, as efficiently as possible, and just go ahead and knock out like all the thin lines. And since I already had it, uh, you know, hit all the pieces of the stencil so it didn't, so I wasn't wiping it away. One of the benefits of doing these small little banger tattoos where I just throw down the design and then like move on, is that uh, I'm kind of given the luxury that I don't have to start at the bottom and work my way up. I do that with the lining, but there's a lot of tattoo designs out there that actually, almost require that you finish it from, the bottom up, so that you don't have issues with welting and things of that things of that nature. But my lines are, fairly small. The designs are fairly small. I'm not totally overworking everything, uh, while I'm doing this. Little break, just to get some feeling back in my foot. Oh man, I tell you what, crazy. So I don't really know what to do with myself as a civilian. I am in a master's class. Yeah, I know. I need to. Um, and this is actually the second class that I'm in, and I'm just going to vent for a minute because no one from my master's class would be on here. But we have to do these group projects, and like from the start, from day one, pick a team. I don't know these people. You, you know what I mean? So right off the bat, I'm like, what is this? And then everybody that's taking this class, they're taking it remote like me, so it's not like they're meeting up. We're in, I think, three different time zones. I know people are the worst, and like they don't listen. Like I have some decent ideas. I'm not going to say that my ideas are the right ideas, but I mean, they're not the wrong ideas. So ideas like no one's talking about anything. Somebody comes up and they put a self-imposed like deadline, like it's due this day, but let's finish it by this day so we have plenty of time to make any changes if we need to. Okay, that's wise, but then you know no one said what the topic should be. So we're supposed to pick a topic. That's the other part. Like, oh, pick a topic. Well, no one said anything. So I spit out like five different topics. Crickets, nothing. And finally somebody, chimes in, but they're just critical. And I'm like, okay, look, like I don't see you putting, like you didn't put anything down, right? Like already I'm like this jaded individual, like you should probably go ahead and put me back in uniform. Like, because I don't know how I'm going to deal with these people. Mm, people. All right. So my foot's tingling, which means I have feeling back, right? Like isn't that what? I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm terrible to myself. All right. Let's go ahead and get back on it, y'all. Um, yeah, I'm doing a sucky job filling this in. I'm having like some real issues with my visibility. And it's not for lack of light, it's just for lack of placement of said lights. I actually have like some really good lighting now. Very stoked about lighting. Birthday present. Lovely, lovely birthday present. Now all I need is like a house large enough for all my lights. I swear, like this corner of my house is just lit up like the sun. I'm pretty sure anyone driving by probably thinks there's some kind of like alien invasion, something going on in here. It's just not right by Southern standards. That ain't right. Yeah. No, I could totally do that. I could totally do that. Actually, that's kind of what I did. Like somebody finally like we all agreed on something today, and so being the smart aleck that I am, I I did one of those iPhone like throwing confetti kind of things, and I was like, a decision was made. It's like 2 days after the self-imposed deadline that somebody had given it. I don't know, one of the people in the group had given us, and then I proceeded to do the next, like a third of the next part of the project myself, and just posted it. Said, "Hey guys, I'm going to be busy today. This is what I've done. If you don't like it, change it. If you do like it, cool, add to it. Whatever. I don't care." It's going to be a long few weeks. I will tell you that. And none of them are stupid. I mean, obviously, I guess you can be stupid. I guess you can be stupid and, take a project management course and whatever, or get a job where you have to be a project manager. I think a lot of officers are project managers, and I know some pretty dumb officers, so I'm not going to name any names because I'm not about burning them bridges. Let's just say there's some bad officers out there. Just don't like. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like, I feel like, and maybe it's kind of the point of the class. Like, oh, see how hard it is to work in a group. Like, bro, if that is part of the class, I just want to go ahead and point out that the public school system has forced kids to work in groups since probably like third grade. Like, we know how hard it is to work in groups. We don't need to work in groups to see how hard it is to work in groups. So I seriously hope that that is not like supposed to be some, dramatic takeaway. Um, Although, I mean, who knows? It probably is. I'm probably supposed to be like, oh, I never knew how difficult it was to work in a group. So weird. Some parts were easier because the work was done by more than one person. Really lightened up the workload. Does it though? It. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that with a big fat no. Nope. Unless somebody's job is to dictate what it is that I say, yeah, no, it's not any easier. Nope, nope. Why is this tattoo so damn spotty? All right, go ahead and pump this up a little bit. Probably not the right answer, but actually, I know it's totally not the right answer. That slower speed should be a little bit gentler, but come on, guys. we all know I'm not like the gentlest hand in the West, East, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. I can be mean and get the job done. All right, better, better, but not quite there yet. So I think there's going to be a couple of days next week that I will not be on. More to come on that. Don't I will be traveling, and while my setup is very portable, the temptation to tattoo other people would probably be too great. So rather than go ahead and go through that, um, hold off till I'm back in town, and then start to stream back up. I think maybe most likely. Cool. Little break. Ah, yes. This one is one I need to finish for sure. You won't miss me, Mr. Noodle. You can't say that. I'll miss you though, buddy. Most deaf. I'm already starting to tear up. All right. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of shaping some of the finer lines that I put in earlier. Just give a little bit more dimension on the folded part of the rose. Um, it's kind of subtle. I know. Probably can't see it very well because for whatever reason, like my camera won't let me do anything other than let it decide. Like I can't do a manual override on the focus, which is stupid for that particular camera. Um, Using this particular streaming platform, not platform, but this application that I use to stream. So just so you guys know, I started off using Twitch's um, like native platform, streaming platform, and it was good. I mean, not a whole lot of bells and whistles, but you know, I could change a few minor things here and there, and that's nice. Um, and then I wanted to do. There was a couple of things that I wanted to add, so I started looking into some of the free, you know, with like options to for in-app purchase type things. You know, oh, you want to do this? Well, you have to purchase this. You want to do that? You have to purchase that. Whatever. And the free ones that I used or that I tried to use, they were not bad. I'll throw that out there. They were pretty sweet for the most part. But then, yeah, like just having to buy, like anytime that I would want to do something, it'd be like, yo, it's going to cost you, you know, $15 a month. And I'm like, bro, like, what, yeah, what's $15 a month? um, but like, $15 a month doing something like this where I spend money to do this. I'll buy the inks and buy the lights, like, hey, not the lights. That was a birthday present. I'm saying that. Um, but the equipment, the tattoo equipment, um, the needles, inks, the stuff like that, the uh, little plastic wraps, the gloves, blah blah blah. It gets to be a little bit much to then be like, yes, let me then pay to stream. I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe one day, like blah blah blah. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? But for now, I'm using OBS. OBS is awesome. Yeah, sure. There's a lot of things that either too advanced for me to set up or not really possible on the OBS platform due to third party um, authentication, not authentication, but plugins that you would then again have to pay these premium prices for. So I'm currently using OBS. I love it. Would definitely suggest other people who are getting into streaming, like, you know, check it out. Like, at first, it looks like it doesn't do a whole lot. Like you open it up and you're like, oh, okay. Well, this is confusing, but it's really not. Give it a shot. I think you'll be more than happy with it when it comes down to it. All right, I'm gonna give this a rinse. We'll see where we stand. Yeah, I mean, I really like it. And the cool thing is that you can set up to stream for pretty much uh, any service. Like if you want to stream on YouTube, whatever. Like OBS will do that for you. But streaming simultaneously, okay, you got to pay extra. You got to pay somebody else extra for that, right? All right, so I got this lovely rose on my leg. Boom. I like it. Simple, effective, much. I think I've gotten a lot better about some of the line work as far as getting some curves in there. You got here for your favorite part. Woo! But yeah, definitely. It's not completely without flaws. This, but it has significantly less flaws than most tattoos that I started off with doing that size. Um, we'll see how it looks in a couple of weeks. I love giving things a couple of weeks and then revisiting them. One, chances are by the time I get back to it, I've developed some other skill that will help me out. And two, it gives me a chance to kind of brighten up a tattoo and make sure that it's fixed and ready to rock and roll. So, should I ever decide to open up my own place and tattoo people, like my new buddy Bruce, which I'll tell you guys about in person sometime, then I will most definitely uh, put in like that 2 week policy. Like, you know, price might be a little bit high to start with, but after 2 weeks, you come back, I'm going to fix something. I'm not going to change the design, but if something's falling out, if something's not looking right, you know, blah blah blah, then yeah, I'll go back and fix it. So that's something that I know just working with myself that I would have to do. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you showing up. Sorry I wasn't here for, was that Tuesday? Just had some things going on, so couldn't really pop on that day like I wanted to. But yeah, should be back on here. Might actually be a full week before I'm back on. There's my cat. There's my cat. He's an idiot. Hey, buddy. Um, yeah. All right, man. Thank you. You guys have a good night. Thanks for showing up. And yeah, if I'm on here before the whatever before, that'd be awesome. But I will probably be doing it from a remote location. But I don't know if I will or not. All right, I'll see you guys at least next week. All right, have a good one, guys. Thanks.